A Tribe Called Quest, the Low End Theory.
Yes, sir.
I've been waiting to dive into the Tribe Called Quest, but I know they have a couple albums, one or two that's very significant. Midnight Marauder, I think, is one of them, and then this one, the Low End Theory, is another one of them that I know has inspired a whole lot of just artists, producers, and I've heard samples of them, and maybe not even knowing.
Heard mentions of them all, like my entire life. I've heard people like referencing Tribe, and I've heard songs here and there, like the vibe of songs and like the energy behind it. But I'll say this, like right now, this is a first reaction for me. Like I've never sat and gone through this project, but somehow, even while not being like well versed or like exposed to their music, there's this underlying respect for the artistry and like what they've done, just because of what I said, how much I've heard them referenced, and how people pay homage to them and stuff like that. So
for sure. And it's the same for me. Like when I come here, there's I'll tell you when I haven't heard something, even if you probably expect me to have heard it before. Things like this, I come here, I'm like, yo, this is a history learning class in some sense. I'm pretty sure I've heard Scenario, the last track. But I'm pretty sure I haven't paid attention to it fully as well. Especially, I think the most recent sample or usage of it was Coast Contra, right? They hopped in the Scenario.
Yeah, apparently with that song, as I just looked up some basic info on the project. That was the introduction of Busta Rhymes.
Oh, this was?
Yeah, but we're gonna get straight to it. Yeah, bro, let's go.
Is that bass already?
First thing.
Out the plastic, do the dance till you're spastic. If you diss, it gets drastic. Listen to the rhyme, cause it's time to make gravy. If it moves your booty, then shake it, baby. All the way to Africa, aka the motherland. Stick out the left, then I'll ask for the other hand. That's the right hand, black man. Only if you are noted as my man. If I get the credit, then I think I deserve it. If you fake news, don't fix your mouth to word it. We gotta make moves. Never ever do the fake moves.
These breaks right here. So like this break that we're getting right here with the horn and just the instruments going, I'm guessing this is what was revolutionary at the time, because it said it pioneered this type of thing. So maybe they've never heard shit like this before.
Musically, the quest is on the rise. We own these excursions, so you must realize that continually I'll pop my Zulu. If you don't like it, get off the Zulu tip. So what can you do in the times which exist? You can't fake moves on your brother or your sis, but if your sis is a brother is a jerk, leave them both alone and continue with your work.
Yeah, this sounds like they're just telling you to be real, bro. Be real with everything you do. I think he mentioned the pen. You got to live by it. What if you write, basically? You got to live by it. And today now, we fast forward to 2025, and you hear a lot of people not being real to what they write or not living the life that they wrote. You know what I mean? And that's dope to hear off the first track, and then this is what they're preaching. And they said the knowledge through the music. Yeah, dope.
Yo, microphone check 1 2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughneck business. I float like gravity. Never had a cavity.
There's gonna be hella moments like that where you hear like little things like, yo, what is that from? What referenced that? You know what I mean?
What song is that? Oh, you talking about the lyrics? I'm talking about the bass.
The beat.
They might be John Legend or something. But that's the song that popped in my head still.
Yeah, I feel
based
it.
on just the bass.
I feel it.
Oh no, it's Common B.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah. I don't know if this is a sample, but that's
what it reminds you.
Yeah.
No need to sweat our scenio to gain some type of fame. No shame in my game, cause I always be the same.
That's great.
Styles upon styles is what I have. You wanted just to fight for, but you still don't know the half. I sport New Balance sneakers to avoid a narrow path. Messing around with this to catch the size of them.
Wait, what? Did he say I sport New Balance sneakers to avoid a narrow path?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a bar.
Sport New Balance
sneakers to avoid a narrow path, though?
Yeah.
That's not a bar, though? Hold on, bro. Balance.
Yeah.
You mean to avoid a narrow path? What?
Styles upon upon styles is what I have. You wanted just to fight for, but you still don't know the half. I sport New Balance sneakers to avoid a narrow path. Messing around with
it. You want to just decipher, but you don't know the half. Yeah. To decipher something is to break it.
You know, to break it down to.
But like a half, you're breaking something. Yeah. Like you're breaking it down. If you put something in half, you don't know the half. You're trying to decipher what. Yo, hold on, bro.
And if you don't know the half, then why you even trying?
How can you decipher if you don't know the half?
Yeah.
No shame in my game, cause I always be the same. Styles upon styles is what I have. You wanna just to fight for, but you still don't know the half. I sport New Balance sneakers to avoid a narrow path. Messing around with this against the size of the. I never half step, cause I'm not a half stepper.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of soda, so they call me Dr. Pepper.
That line has been referenced. I never half step because I'm not a half stepper. Like,
man said I drink a lot of soda, so they call me Dr. Pepper. That's some shit that I would have written back.
You gotta have those, bro. You gotta have those based on the time period and like how shit evolves.
For sure, for sure.
But, yeah.
Get your own smoking R&B cause they try to dupe me or the best of the back, but they can't do rap for it's abstract, original. You can't get your own and that's pitiful. I know I be the man if I cold yank the plug on R&B, but I can't and that's wrong.
I know there was wilding over that little flow switch towards the end there back in the day.
Sometimes you don't, it's just for mere satisfaction. People be hounding, always surrounded, posting, just like a migraine pounding. You don't really fret, you stay in your sense, camouflage your feeling of absolute tense. You're so off to another world deep in your mind. For people seem to take that as being unkind. Oh yo, he's acting stank, really on a regal? A man of the fame, not a man of the people. Believe that if you wanna, but I tell you this much. Riding on the train with no dough sucks. Once again, a case of your feet in my Nikes. If a crowd is in my realm, I'll say, Mike, please. Hip hop is living. Can't yank the plug. If you do, the result will end up kind of blown.
Every now and then I'll look at the cover, and it will just like it enhances the music for me somehow, or the music makes the cover dope. I don't know what way it's going, but it's
either way. There's a connection there.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's fire. So far, the hooks. Maybe I'm just realizing this now, but a lot of hooks back then were either like a instrumental break or scratch, DJ scratch, or something that's just repeated. And so far I felt like that was the case, especially for this one, was just the Buggin Out being the hook, and then the first one had like 3 lines that was just repeated. So interesting to like hear this type of music, bro, because as I said, this is brand new to me, and it's sounding good. They're still talking about, they're still giving a message within and within the lyric as well. It wasn't like, yo, fuck this bitch, this, that, and the third. These are like potent like lyrics, bro. That it sounds real.
And then it's dope to hear how some of the verses sound like instructions. Like do this, don't do this. Like you know what I mean? That's cool. Something I wanted to point out was just while listening to this, I was thinking, yo, it makes so much sense that what you're supposed to do with art, and not just with art, but with everything, is you're supposed to just build on what was left for you. Yeah. Like whatever is happening in your time period, you're supposed to build on it and advance the craft. Like whatever that craft happened. If it's music, basketball, people like to compare like, you know, basketball players like today's how skilled they are versus, you know, the 50s and 60s. It's like, bro, that's not fair, because they had, like, it's a common phrase, but that was the foundation, and you only have what you have today because people were able to build on top of that, and eventually you get to where we are now. But it's like, yo, it's listening to this, it's like, yo, you can hear how things were built on top of this to become more advanced, especially when it was done with integrity. Like it was done with, like, you know, reverence to the original work.
Yeah. And on top of that too, like you hearing these tracks and then you're thinking, oh, this is original. They probably sampling songs from back then too.
True shit.
It's like, damn, where is the actual original? And then you have so much music that you can't even pinpoint.
It's a fly love song. To the effect of nothing, effective fronting is what I don't allow, so let me tell you something. I am a bona fide. Not too modest and not a lot of pride. Soon to have a ride.
Not too modest, not a lot of.
Mama is sick.